Hey guys, I just wanted to make a more lighthearted video after the last 3 train wrecks. So I want to talk about one of my favorite book series. It is it's young adult fiction, and it's been out since 2001, and I imagine a lot of you have read them or at least heard of them. They've been reprinted recently in these mass market sort of collected editions. Anyway, this is the Sweep series by Cate Tiernan, and it's the most wonderfully terrible, fictitious series that relates to Wicca pretty much ever. Those of you who are currently up in arms about The Secret Circle, which, by the way, was also a really terrible book series, this is so much better and so much worse at the same time. And I love them, and I read them every year, and they came out when I was in high school, and each subsequent book would be released, and I would scrounge in the car and in the couch for change so that I could afford the next book. Anyway, it's about a teen girl who discovers that she's part of this ancient and magical lineage of ancient Wiccans, and she has superpowers, and then there's a boy, and then there's another boy, and anyway, it's absurd, and I love it. And if you're into this stuff, like if you thought Twilight was brilliant, A, you're wrong. No, I'm kidding. But B, this is better. Like, the whole paranormal teen romance, my boyfriend might be evil thing, these books, they're awesome. And it uses Wiccan vocabulary, and there's enough, like, superficial Wicca that it's intriguing for those of us who are actually into Wicca. And, like, it's so wrong. It's so, like, don't go into this thinking that this is going to be accurate in any way, because it's not. It's awful. I mean, the writing is mediocre, and the pillaging of, this spiritual tradition, just, like, it's awful. But the books are fantastic, and if you're into this, this is the closest thing I have to a guilty pleasure, and I really don't even like the expression guilty pleasure, because I don't feel guilty about it. I'll tell everyone. It's great. I actually bought this to give to a relative for Christmas, because she's into that stuff too. We read the Twilight books together, and anyway, if you're into this stuff, you should read it, because they're fun. And anyway, they've reprinted them a couple of times. This is the most recent incarnation. So the first book is called Book of Shadows, and you can just go from there. And they're great. And I remember, 2001, 2002, there were a lot of kids who got into Wicca because of these books. So all that stuff about, like, blood witches and being able to throw energy balls at each other and blah, blah, blah. A lot of that stuff comes from these. And if you've got a good sense of humor and, you're okay with that and you just want a fun story, these are great. So you should read them. Those of you who are currently up in arms about The Secret Circle, which was also a really terrible book series, although that quite a bit older than the Sweep series, these are so much better. So you should go read them.